My name is Simona Mainini, and as you can hear from my accent, I'm originally from Italy. And I graduated there, went to school there, and I graduated there at the Polytechnic of Milan in architecture. Thank you. And my family has been in the interior design business in Italy for 40 years. So I was very pleased when he asked us to do this presentation because I'm very familiar with this brand. It's a very popular and very, very nice design brand. And I've used it myself. I have some of their product in my own home. So this is perfect setting for this presentation. Also because the simplicity of the contemporary design and the modern design is very, very appealing and very, very Feng Shui friendly. So we can really use it. It's probably one of the styles that is most compatible with Feng Shui. And then I trained for over 15 years with a Chinese master from Hong Kong. And I was trained in the Hong Kong style of Feng Shui, which these days is also known as the scientific Feng Shui, because there are so many off-sprouts all over the world. I have a consulting company. As an architect, I like to consult on project under construction because I can feel I can give more of my input on how to do things right. But I also work for a long time with people that have buildings that were already built, because no matter what your building is, Feng Shui is going to apply. And in fact, Feng Shui is a concept that only applies to buildings. There's been at one point, there was this fashionable trend, you can cut your hair Feng Shui style, you can put Feng Shui style, but really, that was just part of, I guess, the trend. The real thing is Feng Shui is just for building and built environment in general. So again, just in a nutshell, if you were to define Feng Shui, now I'm testing you, if you were to define Feng Shui like a brief explanation of what Feng Shui is, what would you say it is? Come on. Any brave volunteer? I need to pick on one? Who wants to pick one? Come on.
It's harmony, right? Harmony and design and your surroundings.
Yes, it's harmony and design. Yes, exactly. Somebody else would attend, to elaborate a little bit more on this? Come on. You're all shy today. The gentleman there looks like you know something. No, you, sir. The black sweater.
I think it's just a codified form of common sense design.
Yes. A lot of that, in fact, has to do with common sense and also design psychology. There is another part that also is a little bit maybe not as obvious.
Well,
but
the flow of energy.
Exactly, with the flow of energy. Excellent. So just to sum it up, we would say that in a nutshell, there are a set of guidelines on how to design and how to build our buildings, our living and working environment on the land so that we can be more in harmony with the energy of the planet. Because the entire concept of Feng Shui is based on life force energy. So there is this force that goes in anything, that circulates in anything that exists in nature. So whether it is the human being, whether the plants or the animal, the earth, or the sky, everything is connected with this circle of life force energy. And this is the base of what Feng Shui is. So all that comes from there is about how to use this energy to be more in harmony with it. Because if you are in harmony with it, then you can use this strength to move you forward in your life and achieve your goals. So this is why people have made such a big deal about Feng Shui. It was not just a design trend. 3,000-4,000 years ago, before the Chinese dynasty, the sages were sort of studying the natural environment, and they came up with understanding how the cosmic forces affect our magnetic field. So they created seismology, the first studies of seismology, meteorology, and then they came across the fact that perhaps if we build our building on the ground, then we're going to pick up from the energy of the planet, and we're going to pick up from the energy of the sky. And so our homes will be much more energized. So they started really looking into that. And so what came down to us was this evolving of theories that started several thousand years ago. And as they progress and their knowledge of physics and science became more advanced, they also keep adding on to it. So the reason why they call it today scientific Feng Shui is because if you really study it, you can find in a nutshell all the principles of modern physics. You can find electromagnetism, you can find binary mathematics, you can even find the theory of geomagnetic reversal explained in very much more simple terms. So let's take this one, for example. I'm not gonna go too scientific on you. I don't want to lose you right away. So the concept, the basic concept is that, I want you to be able to hear me even if I'm turning around, is that we have, okay, this is the surface of the planet, and we have all these influences from outside, from the cosmos, and this affects our mass and gravity. And then we have a response from the Earth, the geological response from the Earth, and the ancient used to call this heaven's chi, but heaven's not like paradise, more like cosmos. So they have the cosmos chi, and then they have the Earth chi. And then you have people in between, and please. Don't ask me to draw a cat. I was in art school once, but it was a very long time ago. So when we build a building, the theory says that when we build a building, we also plant our root into the earth, and then we build a building coming up this way, and then we put the roof on top of it, and so we actually seal inside the combination of this cosmic energy, this earth energy moving. So when we seal it inside, this becomes like the energy of the building. And it's very specific at the time of construction and very specific on the orientation. So we have these very, science fiction-y things, time and space, data construction and orientation. It's very fascinating. When I started studying these things, really was very cool. So the reason why knowing the energy inside your house is so important is because since we are also part of this circle of energy, is that just me, or when I move my head you cannot hear me anymore?
No.
Okay.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. So the reason why this is so important is because, as we were talking earlier, we're all interconnected. We are interconnected with the circle of energy. And so if you're familiar with traditional Chinese medicine, you would have seen maybe a chart that shows how the channels run along the body. And these channels, the chi practically, we literally pull it up from the earth and from the heaven to our head and runs into our body. So when we are inside a building, and the building has a specific imprint of energy, and we live inside the building, so we spend 8-10 hours a day, maybe 8 hours a day in your house, and then maybe another 8 hours in your office, your energy start connecting with the energy of that building. The Chinese explain that to maintain the well-being, you need to be mindful of what you eat, of the air that you breathe, and the environment that you surround yourself with. So buildings are part of this environment. So you will hear me in the course of this talk referring to the house as a good feng shui or the house as a bad feng shui. So it's not just about the house, it's not just making your house pretty, it's also making your house in harmony with nature, so that while you're in your house, you don't have to think about anything. The house is naturally charging you. You remember those old cell phones that you put into the cradle, that little thing to charge them up in the old days? Well, it's a little bit like that. You go around and, spread your chi all over, and then you're very tired, you go home, and then you sit in your house watching TV or eating your meal, and all of a sudden, the house is energizing you again. So that's the purpose. That's why they came up with this big deal of feng shui. And of course, if you have an office or if you have a building, same things apply. I mean, if you go there and you're all energized from your home, and your office or your business does not have a good feng shui and the energy is very poor, then you'll be sitting there at your desk feeling miserable, and after 4 or 5 hours, you'll be so depleted that you cannot even think straight. So you cannot make your calls to your customers, you cannot be productive on your work, and maybe your performance of work, if you work for somebody else, might soar, so they might become unhappy with you. On the other hand, if you own a business and you notice that that's what your employees are doing, they start losing productivity after a few hours, then maybe there is something going on with the chi and the energy of the building. Maybe that's why they're not so energized. They're not just lazy, maybe their energy is a little bit depleted.